Welcome to Woman Wednesday, where we remember the women whose lives were taken far too soon. Today we tell a story of Alkia Joquay Rodgers. Alkia was born on February 7, 1985, in Charlotte, North Carolina. She was only 18 years old when her life was tragically taken. But before she became the subject of an unsolved murder case, Alkia was a daughter, a sister, and a young mother to her infant son, Marqualo. She was building a life for herself and raising her baby boy. On May 21st, 2003, Alkia left her family's home in Charlotte to meet up with the father of her son at the Southside Park. The meeting itself was not unusual. Southside Park was only about 1,000 feet from Alkia's home, and it was a place she often visited with her baby. It was also where she and her son's father would meet so he can bring diapers, food, and other supplies for their child. That evening, Alkia planned to meet him there to receive diapers for their 1-year-old son. But Alkia never returned home. Her family reported her missing. The following day, on May 22nd, 2003, children playing at the Southside Park made a heartbreaking discovery. At the top of the playground slide was the body of a teenage girl. The young woman was later identified as Alkia Rodgers. An autopsy revealed that Alkia had been strangled and that her throat had been cut. Investigators immediately began searching for answers. Because Alkia had gone to the park to meet her son's father, he became one of the first people questioned in the investigation. He was questioned intensively, but investigators have never been able to prove he was responsible. Cold case detectives have said that he remains a suspect, but he is not the only person who has been considered during the investigation. DNA evidence collected from the crime scene did not match Alkia's son's father. To this day, investigators have not identified whose DNA was found, and it does not appear to match anyone in their database. Despite the lack of an arrest, investigators believe Alkia's murder was not random. They believe she likely knew the person responsible. Cold case detective Ed Williams explained that the way Alkia was killed suggested the crime was personal, stating that the cases involving strangulation and a cutthroat are often connected to someone who had a relationship or is familiar with the victim. More than 20 years later, Alkia's murder remains unsolved, but behind the investigation is a family that has spent decades searching for answers. Alkia's son, Marqualo, was only 1 year old when his mother was killed. Today, he does not have memories of her. He doesn't ask many questions about his mother, but his family makes sure he knows who she was. They tell him stories about her. They keep her name alive. Alkia's mother, Joanne Rogers, spent years hoping to learn who killed her daughter. Sadly, she passed away in 2015 without ever receiving the answers she deserved. Alkia's father, Thomas Kenneth Pruitt, also known as Kenny, passed away in August of 2025 without seeing justice for his daughter. Her brother, Kenneth Rogers, has also passed away, leaving behind even more family members who have had to carry the pain of losing Alkia without knowing who was responsible. For more than 2 decades, Alkia's loved ones have lived with unanswered questions. Because Alkia Rodgers was more than a cold case. She was more than a headline. She was a daughter. She was a sister. She was a mother. She was an 18-year-old young woman whose future was taken away far too soon. And somewhere, someone knows what happened to Alkia Joquay Rodgers. Anyone with any information about this case is urged to contact the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department's Cold Case Unit at 704-336-7600 or their local authorities. Please share this story about Alkia Joquay Rodgers to help bring justice to this case. Her life matters. And if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Until next time.